In this video, I'm going to show you how to upgrade the hard disk in the PlayStation 4 Pro. I already upgraded the hard disk in my original PlayStation to a 2TB drive, so I want to move the drive from this PlayStation into this PlayStation. It's not quite as simple as just moving them across. When you move a disk from one PlayStation to the other, because the disk is locked to that PlayStation, when you put it into the new console, it's formatted and everything on the disk is erased. So you need to make sure that you back up this one before you move the drive across, and then you need to reinstall everything onto this one. So you're going to need a few tools for this job. You're going to need a backup hard drive. So I've already taken a backup of this console onto this drive. I copied across my game saves, my videos, my screenshots. You can back up the applications and games, but I didn't want to. Because this is a new console, I'd rather start fresh. The other thing you're going to need is a USB stick. So I have the PlayStation system software saved on here. So once this disk is wiped, I can reinstall the PlayStation operating system from this. And then the last thing you're going to need is a small Phillips head screwdriver. So first of all, I need to get the disk out of this PlayStation, so I'm going to put the Pro to one side for a minute. It's much easier to get the disc out of this one than it is the other. I had to have a quick practice run of the Pro because it didn't go very well the first time. So that's really easy, it just slides off. Put that bit to the side. There's one screw holding the hard disk in on the left. It's really easy to tell which one it is because it's bigger than all the other screws and it has the PlayStation symbols on the screw. It's a cute little screw. That's the little things, nice touches. So we'll just take that one out. Safe in the lid for now. And then once that screw's out, you can just pull it out really easily with that loop on the edge. So the hard disk has got 4 screws in it, and that holds this outer caddy on. You need to take that off so it can go into the new machine. So we'll just get rid of those. The 500 gig disk that came in this, I've actually put into another caddy again. Whoops. And I've been using it as a backup drive, so I want to put it back into this PlayStation before I sell it. So I've don't really like hard disks, so I've zero filled it several times, just as a precaution. It didn't have anything particularly sensitive on it, but it just seemed like the right thing to do. So that's 3 screws. Once you've got those screws, it comes out, slides out really easily. So we can put that disc to one side to go into the other console. We can put these to the side because we don't need them at the moment. Move the old PlayStation out of the way. I'll put that back together a bit later on. So the hard disk on the PlayStation Pro is here. I stuck the bit of tape back on just so you can see where it was and get rid of that again. And there's nothing really visual on this hard disk bay that shows you how to get it out. There's writing on it and it just tells you rubbish about Dolby that isn't very helpful. It has, which you probably can't see, it has a little tab underneath there. It looks like you should just be able to slide it out. It doesn't come out very easily. So when you're taking it out, what you're actually trying to do is you're not just putting your finger to the side of it, you're actually trying to reach underneath it and hook it under like that. So if you put your finger right underneath, it pops out. And you can take this part out. Then here we have another PlayStation screw. You can always tell which one it is that's got to come out. It's got the triangle, circle, X, square on it again. So we'll take that one out. Oh, that's a bit tighter, that one. That's been done by a machine or a dude, one or the other. That one to the side, and then with any luck, yeah, and this one will just slide out. Quite curious to see what drive this actually is. It's in the opposite way round, so the other one was labelled up, this one's labelled down. Same deal. 4 screws, so we'll get them out. Highly recommend a screwdriver with a plastic bit on the end, and then you don't have to stop and turn it, you can just keep going. That's not gone out of focus. It has. Sorry about that. Can we get this back into focus? I do not know. Thank you, camera. That's better. Imagine they're the same screws, but I don't really want to mix them up, so I'll shift them to the side. I can feel that's going to drop straight out. So what have we got here? That's a Toshiba. Yeah, that's the same one I saw on Reddit, MQ01ABD100. So there's nothing special about that at all. I should also mention that before I took this hard disk out, I did power on the PlayStation to check it actually worked. You wouldn't want to go to all this trouble and find out you actually had a faulty PlayStation. So then we put this is the 2TB drive. I'm going to slide that back into there. You obviously want the connectors at the open end so they can plug back into the machine. Just put these screws back in. Straight, not cross-threaded. No one likes a cross-threaded screw. It's not quite lined up. I shouldn't be looking through the camera, I should actually be looking at what I'm screwing into. Yeah, make sure the holes are properly lined up, like I didn't. That is not going in at all. Shall we start on a different hole? Looks like this drive might actually be narrower than the original in height. What's happening here is this drive isn't quite as high as the drive I've taken out, so it doesn't line up with the holes so easily. So I'm actually having to hold it up a little bit to line it up with the holes. That's why the screws weren't going in. So the one I've taken out was a Toshiba, the one I'm putting in is a Samsung Spintpoint. That's going in easily now because it's lined up in the correct position. Right, that one's pull that out a little bit again. It's hard to do it without resting it on my chest. Just going in and I'm holding the edge up with my thumb. Fingers crossed that the connectors will go in alright. That could be a touch interesting. I'm assuming if the screw holes line up, the connectors will be fine. So that's in pretty solidly now. That's all 4 screws. So you can put this back in. See, the screw hole is there, so I think we're going this way. We're going that way in. Put this down. No, completely the wrong way. So that's the bottom of the PlayStation, and you want the grey metal side up. Now that screw hole's lined up, grab our black PlayStation screw, put that one back in. Fingers and thumbs. Try not to get my ugly head in the shot. And so that's in pretty securely, probably not quite as tight as whatever robot did that before me. Close enough. And then you can see that's going to go back in that way, that thin line lines up here. So, that. Tip that up on its end so I can see it a bit closer. There we go. That's in properly now. So the next step is to plug this back in. We've got our fat kettle lead. Don't need everything for this, we just want our kettle lead and the HDMI, that'll be fine. We need USB disk. Woohoo! USB in first time, the right way up. I get a medal for that. Might not be able to do screws, but the USB went in first time the right way up. Right, so now we need to hold the power button down for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's beeped. TV's going. Connect the DualShock 4 using the USB cable, then press the PS button. Okay. USB cable, that's what I've missed. Bear with me. change resolution, update system software, reinstall system software. I've plugged the USB in already. Waiting. I am waiting. Wow, this is truly fascinating. I think I will cut this and... oh no, here we go. Here we go. PS4 will be initialized, all users and all data will be deleted. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, I am. And to update system software. I'll put the link for the system software in the description of this video. The only slightly special thing about it is you have to put it in a folder called PS4, and then inside that folder you need to make another folder called update, and then drop it in there. That's it really. And itself off. Scary bit. Right on the front of the console is sort of flashing blue at the moment, slowly. It's quite pretty really. %, chugging along. I think the install file is about 900 meg, so it's not enormous. Hopefully it will sort itself out relatively quickly. And then I had 88 games installed before this, so I reckon that's going to take me about 2 weeks to download again, probably. I'll get all the VR games on first. 53, 54. It's nice that the light's on the front of the new console because it's kind of wasted on the top of the other one. You couldn't really see it when you were using it. I hear the light's still white when you're actually playing this.